We're going to take a look at each of these projects individually in a quest. All the information is in there. I'm not going to read through all of it, but I did want to talk about a few things on each one, and in particular on this particular quest it's going to look a little longer. So I'm going to go into some of the details of how this should be formatted as far as the project. Alright, so let's talk about rack focus. It's just going to be a single clip on this project. This is not that complicated. Just one little easy clip, except it does take a little bit of practice, and it'll take a little bit of creativity to sort of do something unique. You can just turn the camera on and twist the focus ring around and submit it and say, yeah, that was a rack focus project. But really, looking for something creative and something unique. And it's going to take practice to get it done right and to do it well. So I did want to watch the opening scene of this, because this is probably one of the most possibly obnoxious rack focus moves ever. You start off focusing on like the end of a fork or a knife or something, and then it goes all the way down this 50-foot table. So check it out. And then I did want to catch one more rack focus here. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. There's the king, rack focus over there to something. I wasn't sure what that was. Happened too fast. And then we're going to see this character that we don't really get along with. And then focus back to him. So it could be very practical like that, or it could be artistic like that opening shot. So that's the rack focus. There's the information. One thing you do need to consider is you're going to want it on a tripod, and you're going to want to practice this. You're going to want to go in and out. You're going to want to hold it on one thing, twist the focus ring to the next. You're going to need to really size it up and get a feel for where the focus ring should go. Some of you have already done a couple of these. I'll tell you what, if this was a pro operation, we would have some fancy equipment. We would have all these little marks on the ring, and we could twist that focus ring and get it to hit and snap into different spots. But, well, we don't have that. So we're just going to show that we understand this process by following along. Let's watch one more little bit here. You're going to focus on the teapot over to the coffee cup. So again, it's us deciding what the viewer should be seeing. Now, let me show you this format, because this is a format we're going to use every once in a while. Pay attention to it. It's just saying, can you follow rules, and do you know a few of these techniques? You're going to submit a project that is, first of all, I'm going to fix that typo there. You're going to submit a project that starts with black, 5 seconds of black. You're going to have your title slate. It's going to tell your name, project title, the date, 2 seconds of black after that, and then your example clip on this project. And then that's going to fade out with 3 seconds of black at the end. What this will help me do is I can look down, I can look up, I can wait for that next project to come in as I watch them kind of one after the other. And if we wanted to put them all in a folder and watch them all together, we would see who did what. We would be able to kind of have a little breather between each one. Let me show you what that looks like in Final Cut Pro. Here is my first gap clip. So it's starting right away with 5 seconds of black. If I did not have that, so I'm going to hit backspace delete. Option W inserts that, and I can select that and hit Control D. I want to control the duration, and check this 3 out. It highlights over there. I type 5 and period, or I type 5 0 0, and that gives me 5 seconds. So the extra 0 0 after 5, that's the frames actually, whether or not we care about that. Now this one's 2 seconds long, this one's 3 seconds long, and there's a fade out. This is a title. I went with the one called centered. That works well. You can just put your name in there and then fill in the rest of the information there. And then when you're done with all that, you can share the master file either here, or when we talk about our 6-week YouTube playlist, you can go straight over to YouTube. But double check to make sure you're on a H.264. One thing I did want to check out too is if you try to start with an Option W clip, you're going to get this window saying, oh, what type of format do you want? And as it is, this is probably okay. But if you want to avoid that, drop your clip in there first, and then add the gap clip, because the gap clip really, it's just versatile. It's just whatever we need it to be. So there we have it. That's a quick overview. Rack focus project, a couple more projects coming up, and I won't explain this technique that we just did in Final Cut because I think you can follow directions.